Pandas, 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 pandas. I got bras and Atlanta, twist and dope, lean and a pandas. Welcome to the stream. I'm glad that you guys are here. Good morning, guys. Good morning. Let me pull a poll up for you guys to see what kind of day you think it might be today. Good morning, guys. Good morning. Give me 1 second here. Lace Sanawi, good morning. 20p, day trading. Sweet Onions, Mindful Jazzy, good morning. Wayne Bicknell, good morning from Georgia. SW Blaze, good morning from Chicago. Tyler Molema, good morning. PK Futures, Marcos Lima, Hugh, Kevin Mack, good morning, guys. SW Blaze, good morning. Tyler Molema, good morning. CJ, good morning. Mike R, good morning. Welcome, guys. Welcome to the stream. Glad that you guys are here. Make sure you drop a GM in the chat if you're just joining. Also, make sure you scalp that like button. And we also have a poll, so make sure you guys fill out that poll. Try to get as much interaction with you guys as much as possible, because I really do like I like your engagement. I like your opinions. I like going back and forth with the community here. So do appreciate if you guys show your presence. Good morning, guys. Good morning. Marcos Lima asks, what time frame do I use? Look on the top left of your screen. You can see which time frame I'm using. 2,000 tick chart, 10,000 tick chart, and 5-minute chart. Why do I use those time frames? 2000 tick chart because that's where most people use here on the stream, influenced by Mac from Price Action Trading System, and also the 10,000 tick to get a picture of the to get a idea of the larger picture. And yeah, why 10,000? Well, because a good ratio to have is a 1 to 5 if you want to see a higher time frame. That's coming from the fact that the market is fractal, and a very popular time frames to use are the daily to weekly, and that's a 1 to 5 ratio. And so we're going to carry that ratio over to our tick charts, and so we get a 10,000 tick ratio, or 10,000 tick chart to see the bigger time frame. In the 5-minute, because Al Brooks, the GOAT of Price Action Trading System, the Godfather, wrote the book himself, he uses a 5-minute, and that's all he uses. And so if he can use a 5-minute, then I'm sure it could be useful for us. Gives you an idea of the time. So, you know, the tick charts give you an idea of the price action with volume. The 5-minute gives you idea of the price action and the time. Market's about to open in about 10 minutes, and boy, oh boy, pandas. I don't do this ever. I really don't do this ever, but pandas. Hide your kids, hide your wife. We just triggered the failed second entry long on the monthly chart, triggering beneath the 20 EMA. Coming off our trend line here, and you know, this is a monthly chart, so every single bar is a month, believe it or not. And so if I just scroll back like this, it's like going back years. I'm going back years right now. And if you look in the bottom of the screen, it might be kind of small, but you know, in the last decade, from 2010, we've never had a failed second entry long on the monthly chart. Never. I mean, this is insane. I can tell quickly because there's no threes above any of these candles. And there's no threes above the candles because there's no traps to the long side. Here is our first trap on the monthly chart. So, man, this is good. It might be wild, pandas. It might be wild. I mean, the very least, we're looking for a new low. In my opinion, the very least, looking for a new low here. I mean, where do we go? I mean, the first area would have to be here. A nice buy zone in this area from the last breakout. I don't know. I mean, maybe a minor one here, but I think this one will probably be the one will be tested sooner or later. Brings us back down to the 2000s. You know, the 2000 price point. It's insane to think that we may come back down here, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm talking crazy. I really may be talking crazy, but it is quite concerning, the fact that I mean, for day trading, it doesn't really matter. But if you have retirement funds, this could be bad. I don't know. Yeah, I don't you know, I'm not your financial advisor, but I'm reading the price charts, and it just, for me, when I see this, I'm thinking, man, we're still on a downtrend. Simply lower highs, lower lows on the monthly chart. And that is quite interesting. So, you heard it here first. Going down to around the 2,500 price point, according to the monthly chart. According to the monthly chart, we've never had a reversal on the monthly chart, and we never had. And it's kind of scary. Kind of scary to think that. I don't ever go over the monthly chart, but if I see something significant, I want to show you guys, and so I'm just showing you. You know, typically when we see these reversals, they could be very strong moves, very strong. Especially when it's overextended. I mean, All right, reloading my historical. Someone asked for me to do that. What's the indicator name for this trap? The two-legged pullback indicator. If you guys don't know, the indicator that you see here with all the numbers above and below the candles is a two-legged pullback indicator. We trade every single day here using the two-legged pullback, and so we have an indicator that tells us every single two-legged pullback there is on the charts. And yeah, so we're using that to our advantage. It's a tool really at the end. And guess what? The break of the previous candle's low was a triggering of the monthly trap. And so there's a huge move down here. I mean, we have like a 23-point move from the break of the previous candle's low. And I mean, think about this. If we just put an order here, you could have passed an eval in one trade. That's an eval trade right there. Absolutely insane. It's incredible stuff. Started to create a trading range here, and we've been bouncing from the bottom to top. You can see the trading range indicator marking us a trading range here very nicely. And the nice thing about the trading range indicator is that it counts for you. So it tells you basically the spot where the most hits are in this trading range. And so it will adjust the trading range accordingly. Market's about to open in 5 minutes, but we have a trap potentially about to trigger on the 10,000 tick chart, and this is insane. I mean, I'm thinking bear trend day today, but who really knows? I think we could have another bear trend day today. It's just insane to think, right? The daily chart, that we would have this many bear trend days in a row. Typically, I guess we saw some big movements here. But typically we don't see this many bear trend days. But who knows? Maybe measure move. Measure move's already done. I can already tell that. But here's a trap triggering on the daily chart as well. Trap triggering on the daily chart. Trap triggering on the monthly chart. Just insane price action right now. We do have a trap about to trigger on the 10,000 tick chart underneath the 20 MA, and we could have a potential big move here. Currently trading range, but bearish bias, just because we had the huge move down overnight. But who knows? I've seen these things reverse. Kid Poker passed my eval yesterday. Let's go, baby. Congratulations. Timothy Chapo, good morning. Lauren Turtle, good morning. Trap about to trigger on the 10,000 tick chart. I mean, this trading range is pretty strong. We can come back to the top of it. It's hard to tell what's going to happen here unless we break, right, basically this trading range. It's going to be a little difficult to tell. It'll be difficult to be confident in any trade at this point when you have a trading range like this. Break a trend to new low. Actually a good spot for a reversal trade, the reversal failing and reversing here to come down. I mean, you're thinking you come back to the top of the trading range with this reversal setup. Break a trend, new low, bouncing off the bottom, strong bull bar, and then we have a trap here. The trap fails. So that's really, this is actually a really good trade to go long, in my opinion. Maybe it's just a little too choppy, but price action, leg count wise, very good to go long here, actually. Huh. There is news, yes, Kevin Mack. There is news at 10 o'clock, and this is a big one, Pandas. This is gonna be a big one. I believe it's the PMI, yes. It's the ISM manufacturing PMI numbers, and this one typically has high impact. Not only that, you also have tomorrow 8:30 a.m. Eastern time, unemployment rate. So big impact, huge impact on that one. So Lauren Turtle says, why long seems like the shortened uptrend, the short-term uptrend, may have played out. If you want to consider this breakout trend to new high, then yes. But I'm saying this long here was a good long trade to take because of the fact we had a breakout trend new low reversal setup and coming off the bottom of the trading range. So market just opened, Pandas.
10,000 tick trap.
Remember, we do have news at 10 a.m. Eastern time, and so we may be a little sideways until the news happens, and so I may just hang out here for a while. We got double bottom, the bottom trend line, or sorry, trading range. May come back to the top of the trading range. With a higher low setup, I may be interested in going long here. Higher low setup, get back to the top of the trading range. I probably won't take it because it won't be a second entry long, but I'm just reading the charts here, coming from the bottom. Double bottom here, as you can see, right? And a gap. There's a gap here currently from that breakout with a double bottom. Thinking we're going to come back up to a key area, which is the top of the trading range. Pops up, maybe come back to the top of the trading range here. This is the top by 3/4 of a point. Inside bar. I'm pretty confident we're gonna come back to the top here, but who knows? Pushes up again. Still missed it by half a point. If you're always in long, you're out now with a strong bear bar like this. You're just like, you don't want to deal with this always in long anymore, so you're just out. Looking for follow through. No sense of direction for me. Completely sideways, right in this trading range. I have a bearish bias, but it doesn't mean that every short's gonna work. Right, this short didn't work. This short didn't work. Multiple bear bars in a row here. Recovering that gap. Probably gonna break this low. News at 10 o'clock, so I'm a little hesitant to enter a trade until then. Good morning, guys. Viral. Good morning from Scotland. Welcome to the stream, guys. Make sure you guys scalp that like button. Please. Please. A lot of you guys think it's gonna be a bear trend day today. It's fair. Fair to think that. Morning, guys. I haven't been to North Carolina in a long time. I've never been to Kentucky. I've been to Annapolis. Never been to Kentucky. Never been to Minnesota. There's so many like states I haven't been to. Speedy boy, good morning. Another push down here. I mean, you're thinking maybe downtrend, but until the news at 10 o'clock, I feel like it's gonna be hard to really break out this trading range. Trading range is pretty established at the moment. It's hard for me to trade against it, right? I'm not gonna try to go short at the bottom here, right? There's a trap trade here, but I'm not trying to go short. With hindsight bias, you can tell if this is a good trade or not, but while you're in the trade, like at the time, it's impossible to tell. So many buy zones here. Marking this as a buy zone. Touches our buy zone. The first bar on the 5-minute chart is a bearish bar. The first bar on the 5-minute chart, bearish bar. I don't know if I'm really looking for any reversals here. Balancing off our buy zone. Nice 4-point move off our buy zone here. Why is this a buy zone? Basically Albrook's gap creates these buy zones. Big down, breakout. And basically this is the signal bar. The signal bar is the buy zone. The signal bar before breakouts or breakdowns are buy zones. That means like anything in this candle, right? People were willing to buy before the breakout. So we're coming back into this area. We're thinking people are willing to buy in this area, this zone. Would I want a fail second entry short here? Maybe come back to the top of the trading range, perhaps. I have a bearish bias, very strong bearish bias, so it's hard for me to think long right now. But setup wise, not a bad setup to go long here if we get a fail second entry short. Getting choppy, overlapping bars, right? Even though it's kind of like going upwards, this is choppy, right? The bars are mostly overlapping. A, B, C. Perhaps fail second entry short to come back up into our trading range, bouncing off our buy zone here. YL, good morning. Kellyanne, good morning. Welcome, welcome. What news is coming out? 10 PMI numbers. It's a big one. What does this stand for? I have no idea. But it's a big one. What does PMI stand for? What does, not only does it stand for, what does it mean? What economic data is it really telling us? To me, they're just like binary events. The news at 10 o'clock today. It's the big one. Price manipulating index. Basically what they are. ISM numbers, yep. Friday, I think it's a bigger one. Unemployment rate. That's probably a bigger one. This is a second entry short. And not surprised if it gives you a scalp. Because we're so bearish right now. And we're beneath the 20 MA. A little too choppy for me. Right? When it starts looking like this, it's a little hard for me to enter a trade, even on 2 leggy. One thing we can notice here is that we missed the top of the trading range by 3/4 of a point, and this could mean strong downtrend, right? Like if we fail to reach this top of the trading range, then could be a good reason to think that we're going to break to the downside. A breakdown. Purchasing Managers Index, a measure of inflation. Ooh. Inflation. I thought CPI numbers were inflation. Still in our buy zone here. Well, whatever it is, it's the big one. It's a big one. And it can move the markets. Like, it can make crazy volatility in the markets. Bouncing off our buy zone here again. Was I going to go long there? Definitely not. Big push up. Multiple bull bars in a row. Funny thing is, the trading range actually breaks with this move down, so it's incredible, this move right now. You know, multiple strong bull bars in a row. Could be climatic, but who knows? Or reversal. It's early in the trend, so maybe reversal. Comes back to the top of the trading range. I mean, trading range indicator stopped marking this trading range, but maybe the better one would have been a 10,000 tick chart. 10,000 tick chart showing us a trading range as well. Coming back to the bottom, back to the top. It's still valid on the 10,000 tick chart. On the 2K chart, actually breaks down. It stops forming after the break, after this candle here. You see that the trading range indicator stops forming because according to the indicator, basically it's a breakout. But the reason why I'm not going short is because we had this buy zone here, which ends up being very accurate. Maybe a two-legged pullback coming off this breakout here. The only reason why I don't want to go long, even though this looks very bullish, is because if you look to the left of the chart, we're just basically at these resistance areas. Hard for me to go long in these areas when I think we're on the top of a trading range. Two-leggy forming here. A, B, C. Two-legged pullback coming off the 20 EMA on an uptrend, but in a trading range, which makes things difficult. It's a gamble. It's definitely a gamble here. Touches the 20 EMA very nicely. Looks like a bad signal bar currently. Signal bar is really weak. Actually bad if you want to go long here. So on the 10,000 tick chart, we had a strong bull bar ending on its high, but no follow through. Potential second entry long here. It's a nice second entry long, but this is the signal bar currently. Terrible signal bar. Entry bar, not too bad. You can come with a retracement there. I think I'm just gonna wait till the announcement. I'm not exactly sure what's gonna happen here. I feel like we're at the top of trading range. I mean, if I saw this in a different context, I would say definitely go long here, definitely. But because of the context we're in, current market cycle is trading range. I'm just not confident in, you know, continuing these trends. The market cycle is trading range currently, and so this could be a bull leg in the trading range. And right now you're sweating if you enter that trade long. The higher low setup is a better setup here. Giving you double the reason to go long. You almost got stopped out. This is your signal bar. So, or not your signal bar per se, it's your pivot low, which is where you put your stop. Pivot low. And you just got stopped out. So this is why it's very tricky and why I didn't enter this trade, because you just got stopped out if you did. You got to recognize the market cycle we're in, which is trading range. It might go long now, who knows? It might work out now after stopping you out, but it's unfortunate. No second entry long. Someone asked if I trade the YM. I've only traded the EM. I've thought about trading NAS, but don't know. Now we push up, right? That's tricky, right? Stops you out and then finally goes its way. The way you thought it was gonna go, and now it's reversing again. It's absolutely insane. I just think waiting for the news is probably the best bet here. If we get an H4, I'll be tempted to go long, but I don't know. Micro double bottom, increasing the chances. Long will work out. Breaks down. So now we got a small wedge here. A wedge that looks like this on an uptrend is significant because we have an uptrend and a wedge. If you have a wedge like this on a downtrend, a little harder, right? Oftentimes I have like failed breakdowns, a lot of failures. But on the uptrend and you have a wedge, it increases your chances that you might go long here. Regardless, the setup you're looking for is some evidence of bullishness. You want a strong bull bar ending near its high. You want a higher low setup. You want a fail second entry short. One of these setups are basically what you're looking for. Typically don't take the wedge for itself, but it helps with maybe deciding the direction. Big push up, right? This wedge holding up. Strong bull bar ending on its high. People buy always in long, right? Basically maybe now, maybe looking for a higher low setup. The wedge does hold. Thinking going long with a higher low setup if we get it. But notice we're in a small trading range now. Tricky. News is in about 13 minutes. So like I said, I'm probably waiting for news before making any moves here for myself. Higher low, second entry long. Nice move. Makes a scalp. I was thinking about that trade. But signal bar wasn't the best. It's a higher low, second entry long, and gives you enough for a scalp. I'm just kind of sitting on my pulse until the news happens, thinking we're probably gonna go sideways for a while. Pandas, hope you guys are doing well. Second entry short on the 10,000 tick chart, triggering here. Lower high, second entry short on the 10,000 tick. I mean, we're still pretty bearish looking like on the 10,000 tick chart. We're having a hard time going above the 20 MA here. But also, I mean, basically creating a triangle, big old triangle on the 10,000 tick. Obviously, you can create the same triangle here on 10,000 tick chart. Something like this. Looking pretty bearish on the 10,000 tick, but who knows? Like, all this has been very tricky in my opinion. When you start getting overlapping bars like this, it's just, you know, the price action in the off hours basically was better than the price action now. But I mean, again, we have news at 10, so maybe market's waiting for that before deciding to really go a certain direction. The 5-minute chart, the first 5 bars are about to form here. Does it look bearish? It does look kind of bearish to me. I mean, of course, 99% chance we're going to hit the 20 MA sometime today, but who knows? I mean, I think we have a very high chance sooner or later to hit the 20 MA, but just in this big old triangle right now. So Pandas, how you guys doing? DX. Yeah, Richard is he's a trip. He's a trip. Iron Cruz is killing it today with 1250 up on his funded account. Let's go, baby.
10,000 tick trap.
Turtles bought a beetle. I was gonna ask. I thought they stopped making those. That's 1970 Beetle? Wow. Oh. Aren't beetles like known to be like, weren't they like created for like the war or something because they actually had a hard time getting flipped over, or when they got flipped over you can like kind of just flip them back or something? That's kind of the reason why they had like that rounded top. That could be fake news, not sure. .5 horsepower. Toman asks, have I ever done a poll asking about the two-legged pullback versus other strategies? I have. It's just that there's so many other strategies. I don't know, like, you know, I think I did like some other strategies. I think a big one right now is supply and demand.
10,000 tick trap.
Which I actually respect a lot because it actually is basically what I'm showing here with these buy zones. With the price action, you can see where, you know, quote unquote institutional buying happens, and these are like buy areas. Do the price action. So this is why I created this one here, because, you know, for me, I just take it as Albrook's gaps, but you know, it's been coined supply and demand zones. Big push down, second entry short, coming back to the bottom of the triangle here. Oh wow, trap trade on the 10,000 tick chart. Trap on 10,000 tick beneath the 20 MA. Could be a big push down here. Can't be that easy, can it? Cannot be that easy. Market won't make it that easy for us, would it? HCal asks, is there a way I can create an automatic buy zone indicator? I'm working on it, actually. I'm already thinking about it, working on it. But it's not easy. I say it's not easy. It's not easy. But I'm thinking about it. I'm working on it. It's definitely in the works. I'm thinking about creating, see if it's worth it. I don't mind using like these areas and then using them as support areas and basically trading traps off these areas. That's kind of like a setup I like a lot. When you have a trap coming off of a bounce off one of these supports, to me the trigger is basically the trap. News in about 2 minutes here. Currently failed breakdown of the triangle. Right, it tried to break down, comes back up to the top of the triangle. Where is a sell zone though? That's the question. You need to find a strong breakdown, and in that area is typically a sell zone. I would say this right here is probably this like a pretty clear one. Definitely up here. This is a sell zone up here. I would say probably, I don't know how to beat this entire zone here. I'll say this zone area, sell. Because the breakdown basically happens here. Very interesting. The 10,000 tick chart trap doesn't really do much. In fact, kind of fails. Right, shoots down but doesn't really go far. News in about 45 seconds. News in about 10 seconds here. And it's probably going to be a binary event. It's probably going to either explode or... Alright, let's say the news just came out. Popping up, popping up. Am I looking for a trap to the long side? I don't know. I really don't know. The news really didn't do much, at least right off the bat. Strong bear bar ending on slow with some follow through. Is it? Is that the candle finish? With follow through, looks like. People might be always in short from here. People selling the top of this bar. Limit orders waiting right there. News didn't really do much, seems like. Still stuck in this huge range here. Lower high setup. Still in this triangle. I mean, we're pretty much contained in this triangle still. I'm just waiting to get out of it. Hard for me to take a trade when you're at the apex. Speaking of apex, I'm just joking. I'll spare you guys today. Trap trade to the downside. Looks like we're falling apart here. Buy zone compromised, no longer there. Maybe downtrend. Maybe downtrend. I would need a setup here. Second entry short. A, B, C. I mean, the trading range has been so strong, we might end up becoming a trading range. But with the news, that might be enough. The 5 minute actually creates a failed second entry long here on the 5 minute chart. Right. If you see this, it'd be basically A, B, C, second entry long, fails, reverses. Trap on the 5 minute chart. I'm looking for a setup to go short if I can. Seems like the market hasn't made its decision. And let's try to get a short on this downtrend. The market might be very stingy, only allowing first entries, which will be unfortunate for us because we're looking for second entries. Put a pull up for you guys. If we get a setup on the 20 MA here, would you go short, skip, or trap? I don't think the market's going to be so nice. I don't think they're going to give us any entries here. Looks like it's breaking down. Always in short currently. Right, people are always in short. They're just selling everything. I need at least a setup. I need something. I need a break of a previous candle's high. I need a pullback to the 20 MA. Something like that along the lines to increase the probability of our second entry. 5-minute bar creates a strong bear bar ending near its low. You're thinking follow through potential. Whew. I'll probably do a measure move like this. Potential measure move. Something like that. Or just a measure move of this bar. Potential trap trade here. We do have a pullback, small one. Potential two-leggy here. If it comes back up to 20 MA. I'll take it. The problem is, will the market be so kind that it'll actually give us a two-legged pullback to the 20 MA? I don't know. Doesn't look like it wants to give it to us. It's a double bottom right now. It might be first entries only market. First entries only. Saying that the market's like, you know, we're not going to give you two-legged pullback discount. If you want to jump in, you got to take the risk on these lower probability setups. But the reward will be good. We actually get a setup for second entry short. Strong bull bar ending on its high. Looks like. Well, we'll see. It's a big bar. Hard to take a bar like this with this much risk. Signal bar is not the best. So you're risking 1, 2, 3.5 points. Bad signal bar, but off the 20 MA on a strong downtrend. Woo-wee! That's a bad signal bar. I don't know. I wish it was a better signal bar. I mean, I want to stick to the rules here, but I'm so eager to go short on a. It seems like a cleared breakdown. Inside bar being created. Making it kind of choppy. What can I do here, pandas? Creating a double top here. The EMA is starting to curl up a little bit right now. Alright, that's a good signal bar for me. It's an inside bar, but good enough for me. Going short. Do not copy my trades. Fully aware of my risk reward here. It's about 1-to-1, which is really good on a strong breakdown downtrend right now. I think this is a good setup to take. I don't mind if I lose this. I like the setup a lot, and it is what it is. If I fail, I fail. But I like it enough to enter this trade. So just waiting. Gonna hold tight on this one here. I could skunk it if it takes too long. Looks like I'm about to almost reach my target. Almost is not enough. Let's go, baby. Let's go, baby. Easy peasy, easy money. Let's go. Oh, Richard Harris joining the chat. Even away. Wow, that actually does a reversal setup. Wow. We just scalped out. Just barely. Wow, wow, wow. Lower high setup possibly. Continue to go short. It's nice to be green. It's a lower high setup, but now getting a little too choppy for me. Clearly underneath the 20 MA. Could be another entry short here. It might be good. But now it's looking a little sideways. Doji bars. Underneath the 20 MA. Risk is not that large either here. It's pretty much identical trade to here. The only problem is now you have a small little trend line that can stop you. But we're clearly underneath the 20 MA. It's a lower high setup. Still on a downtrend in my opinion. Ends up being a good trade. Another good trade. Absolutely amazing. I didn't feel confident entering this one because I already scalped it out here. Felt a little sketchy. It felt like it's starting to go a little sideways on me. But we do make that new low here. I'll take a trap trade to the short side if we get it. If we get a fail second entry long here, I'll be willing to go short. Thinking follow through on this 5-minute bar. If we break up and break down, I'm interested in going short again. Do not copy my trades. I'm currently in micro double top. It might be a little too choppy though. But we're clearly underneath the 20 MA, so I'm eager to go short here. But I mean, if you're looking now, it looks kind of sideways, right? Trading range indicator giving us a trading range as well. Potential fail second entry long here. Continuing this downtrend. I mean, if you're in the 5-minute chart, I'll be always in short at this moment. When you look at the 5-minute, it looks like there's gonna be follow through. And if I saw a chart like this on the 5-minute, I'll be always in short. Just keep selling at the close. Right, close at this bar, people sold. Potential fail second entry long here. We're going so sideways. It's very hard for me to take this trade according to this chart. But this is most likely it will be a downtrend. But I don't like how sideways we're going. And if I go short here, I basically will be trying to be selling right into all these limit orders waiting down here. It's hard for me to do that. You know, just as limit orders are waiting up here, there might be limit orders waiting down here as we've seen past about 20 bars. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. More than 20 bars going sideways here, making it more 50-50. This could be a good trade to take. I'm a little hesitant just because we're going so sideways. We're right in the middle of this small trading range, but bearish bias. So good chance that it will go down, but not the kind of setup I'm looking for. It's a breakout setup if you're going to trade this. It does trigger. It could be a strong push down. I just don't like how sideways it's going right now. If it's a strong bear bar, people may be more enticed to enter in the follow through. You're kind of sweating now. Not anymore. Looks good. Ends up being a good trade. Hard to take. I mean, underneath the 20 MA, I understand that, but look how sideways we start to go. Little hard for me. If you're to trade this, maybe take it as a swing trade. 2 times your risk reward. This is your target for a swing trade. 2 times risk reward here. I know a lot of you guys think this looked very bearish, and why didn't I enter this trade? Main reason being, like I mentioned, as was happening, it's just two sideways for me. Two sideways. But I have seen these things reverse before. I have seen these things being very tricky before. Looks like we're going to make that 2 times risk reward trade here. Just watching, 2 times risk reward, just hit. Ended up being a very good trade. What can I say? I was a little scared going sideways. Clearly underneath the 20 MA. I mentioned everything, but while the trade was happening, it just went so sideways, and it basically triggered like within this trading range. I just couldn't pull myself to do it. Thinking we can come back to the top of the trading range. I don't know. Ends up being good, a nice trade with the runner as well, right? Your runner will still be alive. Even with this pullback, your runner should still be alive if you did it properly. Barry Allen asks, when is the session start time for the 2000 tick chart? I mean, this depends on you. I mean, it's like all the other charts, 23.5 market, but the regular trading hours is 9:30 Eastern time, AM, till 4. Yeah, or if you're asking like when does it open, when basically the market open, then yeah, 6 p.m. Continued downtrend here. Always in short, like the 5-minute chart, like I mentioned, if I saw this candle and I saw this follow through, I'll be always in short, just selling anything. 5-minute chart, always in short. CJ passed my eval. Congratulations. Yeah, I mean, do I like this trade still? I mean, hindsight bias, of course, looks nice. It just started going so sideways. I mean, making the lower highs, right? Hitting its head, basically making like a micro quad top here, lower high. I get it. I understand why you want to take that trade. I couldn't do it. It's just too sideways. It's too sideways. Just watching. 20 EMA, first entries, maybe a first entry market. Just entering first entries here. Coming off the limit orders off the 20 EMA, as you guys can see here. But limit orders being bought beneath here. Bulls trying to buy up. Bulls trying to make money. Bulls having a hard time making money in this market. Make sure you guys scalp that like button. Second entry short. I don't know if I like it though. I mean, if we're just starting a strong downtrend, why not? It's a second entry short. It looks ugly right now. Trying to create this trend line here. It's a second entry short. Downtrend, second entry short. Good signal bar. It's reversing after one tick. I don't like to enter trades like that. Usually reverses like with one tick. That means like people feel trapped here. Probably can't go short there. You just got stopped out if you went short there on the second entry short. This is like what I meant, that even though you're a downtrend doesn't mean every single setup is going to work for you. And especially very tricky like this because, right, the bears are so easily making money and now all of a sudden the bulls are making money. Trap does trigger to the long side. We could look for a reversal set up here somewhere. I mean, it looks strong. Something's changed, right? The air has changed definitely. Could have break a trend to new low, something like that. Could have been like a break a trend to new low here. If that's the case. That's what it looks like. Break a trend to new low, and currently reversing. These uptrends, let's see how long it lasts for. Currently, very strong move up, multiple bull bars in a row. Now you're confused. You're thinking, is this a reversal or should we keep going short? Because it looks like the market is very bearish. Makes you very confused. But right now, the market is telling us it is going up. So. L4 pushing strongly. It doesn't look like this is going to stop anytime soon. Could be always in long, right? Basically after this bar, I think traders are always in long. Maybe even after this bar, always in long. Actually, you can tell they're always in long. The moment this bar closed, you see that there's no wick here. The moment it closed, people just bought it up. So you know they're always in long, right? By the close, right when this closed, they just bought it up. $10,000 tick chart, amazingly, the trading range is still valid, and it might come back up to it. I don't know if it will, but let's see here. Potential trap. Wow. Okay. Apex may be tested of this triangle here. Apex is such a cool word, isn't it? Only there was a company called Apex. That'd be so cool. All right, so we got strong push-up, always in long trades. I'm not entering any of this right now. But strong reversal. Basically coming back to the apex. I'm just gonna keep saying that like a subliminal message. Look at the apex here. Does this apex look quite nice? Look at the apex. We're going right to the apex. I'm gonna touch it perfectly, like a diamond. Here, I'm gonna just lower it so it hits it perfectly. Right there is the apex. Would you look at that? It's touching the apex perfectly. Only if we could be part of this apex. I'm just joking. What is going on here? Big move up. Super strong move up. I mean, are we thinking bullish, pandas? Are you thinking bullish? Can this bear become a bull? Maybe if I identify as a bull, I can become a bull. Let's see here. Morgan K asks, why was the last second entry short bad trade? This one right here. With hindsight bias, it's easy to see. But you can see a breaker trend to new low. And H4 setup, basically reversal. Ends up doing H5 failure. But ends up being a reversal trade. Now, would I go short here? I was thinking about it. Really thinking about it. Thinking it might be in a strong downtrend. But these things can be very tricky. I think... yeah, I'm trying to see any other reason why. You know, if you look at the short-term trend line, it could be a break of trend here to new low by one tick, reverse. Could even be that. That's very tricky though. Like, I really wouldn't chart it like that live. In fact, I'm just looking at this like, you know, just as a downtrend. I was trying to draw that downtrend, something like this, thinking, okay, maybe we have a hit off the downtrend right here, and also the 20 MA seemed like a decent trade actually to take, but ends up reversing. The prevailing price action ends up being breaker trend to new low, major trend reversal, big push up. And like for some reason, all the bulls knew and all the bears knew to get out right there. Right when it broke this high, everyone knew to get in and get out. Bears are getting out, closing their trades. Maybe even some reversing it. Bulls are coming in, entering in, and yeah. We have a two-leggy forming here. Do I like it? It's really high. It's coming off a strong reversal setup, but it's a two-legged pullback here, and it does trigger. Too far away from 20 MA for my taste. But if you're a 5-minute trader, potentially you're looking at this as an always in long setup. Strong bull bar ending on its high. Follow through. If it's strong bull bar, then traders most likely will be always in long on the 5-minute. Ends up being a nice two-legged pullback on in a terrible setup. A terrible setup here, right? Super high base. So it's hard to switch gears like that when you're thinking, oh, so bearish that, you know, this market most likely will be a bear market rest of the day. And, you know, that's what you're feeling. That's what you're thinking, especially in a huge breakdown. But what ends up happening is 10,000 tick chart, trading range indicator. What ends up happening is just a two-legged push down. You know, if you're wondering if you had to break a trend to new low, typically you can look at the higher time frame and see if there's two legs down. Two legs down here on a 10,000 tick chart is this big leg is one leg. This is the first entry, second pullback, second entry, and this is how the two-legged pullback looks like on the 2,000 tick chart. Actually, it looks like a huge two-legged pullback like this. But the 10,000 tick chart is just two legs down. So that kind of helps if you are trying to figure out, okay, did we make our two-legged move? Because the market loves to move in twos. And so once the 10,000 tick chart makes its two-legged move, it could be a potential reversal. So that could also be helpful for you guys. You're trying to figure out, did we finish our move down? And usually with two legs down on the higher time frames, then kind of gives you that answer. Very strong move. I wasn't expecting a move up this strong, but we're getting it. This really just shows you news doesn't mean anything, right? In the beginning, news seems like it was trying to push the market down, but look at where we're now. Like, if the news really did control the market, then why are we back up here? You know, why would we be back up here? I think the news actually puts in some volatility in the market, but in terms of like really telling you which way it's gonna go, price action is king. We're getting another two-legged here. Again, I don't like it. It's too high. And we kind of already had a two-legged here, so this could be a final, you know, two-legged move. Also hitting our heads on the 240 SMA. Looks like a spike in channel, kinda. Two-legged move, maybe back to the 20 EMA here. Do I like this long? Might be too late to put this pull up, but all right, it already triggers the bad signal bar. It's a bad signal bar, right at resistance. Not looking to go long there. You're kind of sweating right now if you're long. Thinking, you know, you're disappointed. Small signal bar, so small risk. Could be worth it for some people. For me, I'm just sitting on my pause. Thinking big up, big down, or big down, big up. Big trading range. Definitely sweating now if you're in a trade. Thinking 90% chance you're gonna get stopped out here. Okay, just get stopped out if you enter long there. Coming back to the 20 EMA here. Do I like this trade? I don't know. Do I like this trade? Do I want to go long here? I don't want to go long. I feel like we're testing the apex here. We could reverse. Am I looking for a trap trade? The trap already triggers here. Doesn't really make sense for me. This really doesn't make sense for me. Unless you're considering this like a breakup trend to new high. Trap trade. I'm skipping whatever setup happens here. I do not like it. I do not like it. Inside bar. Right, this bar is completely contained in the range of the previous bar. Inside bar. Second entry long does trigger. You can consider this a third entry long, but also every entry past the second is a second entry long. So that's also second entry long. 4 pushes down, potential H4 setup. Could we break a trend to new low here? Possible reversal. Bad signal bar currently forming. Let's wait till it finishes. It looks like it's gonna be bad. And it is. Strong bear bar. Ending near its low. Little follow through. Do I want to go long here? No. Do I want to go short here? I don't know. This is confusing. Right? The 20 EMA is basically just being completely disregarded. Late Snowy asks, why does a break a trend to new high possibly indicate a reversal. Main reason being is because it's a two-legged move on a higher time frame, right? The higher time frame. So here we actually don't see that's a two-legged move. So we might not actually have that break of trend yet. You know, this could be the break of trend here because this actually comes down here as a first entry, might create the second pullback now. So we may still have room up back to the top of the trading range because we still need that two-legged move on the 10,000 tick chart. So, but other than that, like psychology-wise, break a trend to new high. To me, it's just like a double top. You know, it's some sort of double top, a higher low, a higher high or a lower high, double top. Sometimes it's perfectly matched, but that's more rare. Usually you have a little higher high or a little lower low, double top. But essentially that's what it is. We might have a nice H4 setup here, coming back to the top of the trading range, creating the second pullback on the 10,000 tick chart. H4 setup. Not interested underneath the 20 MA. Like I said, it's hard to trade here. Confusing now. $10,000 tick chart does trigger the second pullback, so this could be a something like this, possibly setting up for a second entry long on 10,000 tick chart. It's a higher low, second entry long on the 2,000 tick chart. Confusing. Not interested in any of these trades. Looks like a trading range, if anything, to me right now. Oof. Second entry short, triggering here, lower, or not lower high, just a second entry short. It's an outside bar reversal though. Looks like it's dripping. Looks like it's dripping. Made a new low. Second entry short. I was honestly not ready for that. I just didn't know what was happening. Strong push down, multiple bear bars in a row. This doesn't look good for the bulls. I think what ended up happening is we just came back to test the apex of our triangle, pushing back down. Head and shoulders pattern as well, as you can see here. Head and shoulders. Just multiple bear bars in a row. You're still always in short at the 5-minute chart. 5-minute chart, right? Always in short traders. Still selling above this bar, selling above this bar. They're getting their scalp. They're getting a swing trade now. Boy, what a strong move up. This is a buy zone here. Crazy. I mean, it's hard for me to go long off this buy zone, but it's good to recognize it, right? The previous breakout was right here, right? This is the buy zone. But doesn't mean you just buy it. It means that maybe you can look for a setup to go long if we get a good setup. You need some indication that we are reversing here. And then that's when you buy. You don't just buy right off of it with limit orders. Typically you don't. I don't think the buy zone is going to hold. I mean, when you see a move like this, that's very strong. But we are bouncing off our buy zone. Regardless of what I think, we're bouncing off of it, and it's happening right before our eyes. Do I want to go short into the buy zone is a question. Right, if I get a second just short here, do I want to go short, or do I think this is a breaker trend to new low, looking for a reversal, another reversal setup? I think it's interesting to note on the 5-minute chart, we have yet to hit the 20 EMA. 10,000 tick chart, basically second inch short, that's all that was. It was just 2 moves up. I know it looks really crazy, but it's 2-legged move. A, B, C, 2-legged move. 2-legged pullback. Just watching. I might be content with my one trade here. This buy zone is starting to show a little support, but how much longer can it really last? Sean Bear bar, anyone's low. Do I want to go short here is a question. The only problem is when you see a big move down, big move up, big move down, it starts to look like a trading range. So this is the $1 million question. Are we going to bounce here, reverse, or are we going to continue this downtrend? I think we're going to continue the downtrend, but no setups for me. I know it seems like I've only made $100, but copied across multiple accounts on using Apex, this $100 is a lot more than $100. I'll just say that right now. Making new lows here, absolutely disgusting move. Like it basically makes an A top here. Absolutely incredible. like in my opinion, like what were the traders thinking to go long here, and then all of a sudden just to reverse it? It's crazy. So many traders at one time wanted to go long here, and they all knew to go long here, right? There's some setup here that when traders look at this, they all knew to go long right there. Gotta catch those. This buy zone no longer valid. Do I have a setup anywhere? Not really. It's quite a strong move down though. It's a trap trade. Very far away from 20 MA. Taking trades like this is usually what ends up hurting me. But it could work out, but a lot of times they don't. A lot of times I'd be super eager to enter a downtrend. I'll enter trades like this and it ends up just doing what I should have waited for in the first place, is a two-legged pullback. So many times. We're gonna wait here a little bit. I want to see if we get a two-leggy here. All right, I'm not sure if we're gonna get our setup at all. Two-legged pullback. I'll wait till the 50s. I'm gonna see one more pullback here and see if we make a two-leggy. It looks like it's always in short. People just selling. Like, you're just super eager to enter short here. Spike, kind of channeling now. Give me a pullback, and I want to see if it becomes a second entry. Pullback anywhere. We'll wait till 1050. Five-minute trader still always in short. Might be one of those days they're just always in short all day. All right, let's see this next pullback. Let's see if we get one anytime soon. People are just selling with limit orders above the previous bar. Limit order sells here. Stopping this candle from breaking the previous candle's high. Finally does have a pullback. Let's see if we get a two-leggy here. If this breaks the previous candles or the previous pivot low, I'm out. All right, I'm out. That's it. You know, it's, you know, that's all we get. So, all right, Pandas. Hey, I'll see you guys tomorrow, bright and early, 9 o'clock for the pre-market show, 9:15 for the mainstream, and I hope to see all you guys there. And yeah, as always, happy trading. God bless. Bye.